Today is May 25th, 2025. Today I was up in a Fairlawn. Um, Annoying people. Annoying. We met at Bob Evans. My brother was running late. Well, it's a good thing. Carl Sugar, he has a diabetic, was really high. We didn't bring insulin. Well, the only way to get your sugar down if you don't have insulin is drink a lot of water so you go to the bathroom a lot. You get rid of the sugar, that way it works. And he's like, I want something. It's like, your sugar is way too high. You eat something, and we're going to end up going home. I said, just wait a little bit till that water gets through your system, and then it'll drop enough that you can eat, and you'll be fine. Do you know how people show up and actually say something because I gave him advice? It's none of your damn business. And it worked. And he got to eat dinner with us. And then he got to eat on the way home. You know, we went to Summit Mall in Fairlawn, in Hollister, in the one corner, I think it was Hollister. There was some teenage boys laughing their asses off, cackling like jackasses. Heard that Bill from the Freemason ran a real big scam here. He actually taped her washing herself in the shower. Can you imagine that? And then they're giggling, cackling. And he had someone drug her up and tell her to say stuff. And then ran a scam of who could come up with the best scam to steal her money, to get everybody to help. He scammed everybody into helping out, and they're cackling, mocking what he did. I have a dent in the back of my head that should have killed me. Size of a ball peen hammer. Had migraines for 2 years. Like half my head was going to explode. Starter now. But they're cackling. I have a damaged rib cage, a damaged shoulder, damaged intestines from being beat in the stomach so much. But they were cackling. I was raped. I was tortured. Had to go on bladder spasm medicine for 2 years. But they're cackling. They had strange men rape me and human traffic me and sell videos of it. But they're cackling. I was almost shot in the head driving. A gunshot night where 2 people were supposed to be dead. Phase 6 stalkers. Drug till I lost 70 pounds after I called the FBI. And 18 before. Covered in orange, lemon, and grapefruit sized bruises. Throwing up, heart racing. Almost passing out. And a severe swollen personal infection. I couldn't hardly go to the bathroom, and I thought it was a dirty boiled water. Killing me, giving me cancer. I was showering it. And here it's sexual predators. But they're laughing. And cackling. How Bill from the Freemason ran a big scam here of having somebody tape me washing myself in the shower and Photoshop that in another room. Had someone break in and drug me up and tell me to say stuff. And then ran a scam on who could steal my money. And the best one. Cackling. How he scammed everybody into helping out. Cackling. Do you know how many thousands of people were taken by the human traffickers that were helping out this? Do you know how many people were sold for sex slaves and have been killed? Never got back. And they're cackling. There's nothing funny about this. And what he did. April 24th, 25, Summit Mall. A guy from the Texas group was up there that day, the Kingsman. Was one of them yell out, you tell that guy Will up there that was to run a scam here to join us? That it's all ruined. Michelle had told on him that that doctor was not one of hers, but worked for them and they had lied. You tell them we said take care of her. Where Michelle had told an agent on March 27th, 25, that she was part of having me try to have me killed when they bashed in my head. They tried to leave me brain dead and incompetent, or not brain dead, but incompetent, or kill me. They actually tried to kill me or leave me incompetent, and it didn't work. The doctor said it should have killed me as far as this pushed in. I stutter now when I get upset. But people were laughing today. Okay. And the reason I don't know who this doctor is, he's not one of mine. He works for them, and they had lied. Okay? And she told an agent and he broke up with her. Okay? She's so mad he broke up with her April 17th, 25, at Sheetz gas station in Hartville. We pull over and Carl had to go to the bathroom. Well, she has a tendency to follow me around. Okay? There's a big government SUVs driving around the parking lot. She walks out of the gas station, walks up to a blue SUV, and said, I talked to police up there. They said, how dumb was I? Confessing to that guy that she was part of trying to have me killed when they bashed in my head. And the reason I don't know who that doctor is, he's one of theirs. And they had lied. He was one of mine. And that she doesn't even know who he is. And that guy was an agent and she's an informant. And we could all go to jail for this. And I really liked him. And those government vehicles had stopped. Well, they showed up the 19th and said they got her. Well, April 3rd, 25, I was down in Dutch Valley Restaurant in Sugar Creek. We go to leave. There's a heavyset white lady had walked out ahead of us and a guy with a beard after us. And they're talking to us. We go to get in the car. How they had been told on that doctor was not one of mine, but works for them, and they had lied. Okay? And the whole thing's ruined. Well, in 18, they said it was a drug cartel doctor for Florida and that he worked for them. And that he was running experiments on me. And where it should be 12/21/18. I had a doctor's appointment. I got up that morning and I got a shower. I brushed my hair and I just wanted some grape juice. I had those little bottles of grape juice. I went to go get one. Open the refrigerator and I hear her voice. I can't wait for the truth no longer. And someone stabs me in my neck. Immense pain. And it goes foggy, hazy, bright light. And then dark. Okay? And I could feel myself crying. I was out for hours. I wake up and there's a white comb Mondays dresser. He shows up and accuses me of having an affair, and I have no idea what happened to me. I'm covered with bruises. The back of my head has a dent in it that big, about the size of a ball peen hammer. And it felt like sticky and pain around it for like about a month. Carl thinks maybe it was dry blood when it bashed it. And a month later, I tried to get my hair dyed, burned like hell. They made up the scam of a neurochip to cover up the attempt to murder. And they were still pulling it in 21. The lady, heavyset white lady that said she was Michelle's mother, showed up at Altman Hospital. I went in there my head was still killing me at times. And she was in there trying to blame the FBI. Came in and said the FBI chipped you, neurochipped you because they wanted the truth out of you. Neurochipping was outlawed in 2007. There's a Torture and Terrorism Act. If you neurochip somebody against their will, it's 20 years. It's against all human dignity and all human rights. It's a form of torture, and it's a 20-year sentence. I go in the back, and or before I go in the back, people come in and they're flashing fake FBI badges, get in the back of Altman Hospital. They even lied to Dr. Alan Atinas and told him some damn bastard nurse at me. That's when I go to use the bathroom, and that weird Eric Stockney, the one that laughed at everybody on November 18, 22, how they fooled everyone with their stunner tapes before. He's scamming that nurse, and she's breaking HIPAA violations. Bad mouth me, and then security called me bad names, and I laughed. Went over to Mercy Medical, and that's when a lady showed up. No man was ever to touch her. And the nurse comes in laughing. The only thing they had on you was adjusting yourself. The guy said that. Sick said, no, it's actually funny. She simply wiped off water with clothes on. They didn't have anything else. She just simply brushed it off. And then they started saying stuff that wasn't true and made my stomach bleed. And then it's like, what you're describing is showering. Ha 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 ha. She figured out what they did. And they were already admitting to drugging me and telling me to say stuff. They photoshopped all their lies in 18. By January 19, February 19, they said where they were stabbing me with their fake sodium pentothal drugs. It was a cocktail of drugs. That the doctor that worked for them would actually like to meet the person he was running experiments on. They even admitted he never even met me. And that he worked for the Florida Drug Cartel. And then Dave had told Danny April 16, 23, after Jen's mom's memorial service, that he had hired some guy named Pete on his own. It was Pete and his men in my home before, and Pete had her taped saying the filthy, dirty statement. I never met Pete. I'm still not 100% for sure who he is. He's one of my black and blue marks, where I take a drink out of a drink, the room would go dizzy and black, or I'd wake up with injection mark, orange, lemon, grapefruit-sized bruises all over me, throwing up, dizzy, almost passing out, in a severe swollen personal area till it's pushed open and down, and I'd scream when I pee, and I go to the doctor, what on earth is wrong with me? And I'm blaming the dirty well water I'm showering in. And never seen her talk to anybody. Sexual predators preying on a woman in her home. And those teenage boys thinking it's funny. There's nothing funny about that. Raping a woman in her home and human trafficking under drugs. There's nothing funny about that. And I heard they sold kitty porn to my grandkids going potty. Sold me on porn sites. Human trafficked me. There's nothing funny about this. I was almost murdered several times. I was tortured by a fake FBI agent in July to September 19, midnight to 3 in the morning. And 2 other guys. And the guy that crushed my head in bragged in January 19, and Bob Evans. They called him Alec or Alex, a white-haired guy with his hair parted on the side. They told everybody they were FBI handlers. And that he had left his Com Monday's dresser, and he was holding me down during the assault. They could have killed me. But those boys were laughing. How he ran a big scam here. Thousands were taken, thousands were sold. People got killed, but those boys were laughing. You know, psychopaths. If you look it up, they do not. There was this lady psychiatrist on YouTube. What's the difference between a narcissist, a psychopath, and a sociopath? Okay? A psychopath, they're born that way. They think it may be genetic. When they do a scan on their brain, the part that makes us human, that separates us from animals, feeling sympathy, empathy, remorse, and compassion, it doesn't light up. They feel happy, joy, excitement, and anger with no consequences. And they can't feel sorry for you. They can try to fake it, but they can't feel sorry for you. Their brain, it's like they're born stupid. That's how, like, my ex-husband and his girlfriend from before me could have him scam me, marry me to get a job at my dad's factory. Let her use my insurance. Run up all kinds of bills and not feel bad about it. Him beat on me every time he had a bad day. Let those men drug me up, beat and rape me, publicly humiliate me, because he couldn't feel sorry for me. I was just something he scammed and was done with. And that bill from the Freemasons, hurting a woman he didn't even know, having her raped, publicly humiliated, skull crushed in, tortured, human trafficked, he never even knew. Because he can't feel sorry for you. They're the things that separate us between being animals and human. The emotions that make us human, where animals don't have it. These people are like animals. They're the born serial killers. And realize they are pure demons of hell, or they wouldn't touch you. And then the people finding enjoyment and laughter of people drug beating, raping you, crushing your head in, raping, torturing you, damaging your intestines, your rib cage, drugging you until you lose 70 pounds and you'd already lost 18 before the FBI, and laughing while people are terrorizing you for being victimized, for some idiot trying to get in the cartel. And some would call hiring the cartel to kill someone. Dear God, the FBI arrested the Amishmen for cutting off beards. They went in and told the FBI they were trying to kill me, and they didn't arrest them. They told them they were having me drug, beat, and raped. They didn't arrest them. No. They scammed them and then fed me back to the cartel so they could get all those drug deals. Told other churches they didn't care I was being drug, beat, and raped. Agent John did. I like my money, Agent John. This was Bill's scam to get in to the cartel. You know what's sad? They were walking around the mall. Anybody want to join us? You just have to give up everything in life. Just give it up and join us and go with us. There was even a group of people, they called themselves groups of families, making money as they go. Give up everything and join us. One of them said, well, we ought to take Karen. I thought, I ain't going with nobody. But they were trying to recruit people in the mall. They just said they had to give up everything and to join them and go with them. That was it. They didn't have to run a scam. They didn't make it prove themselves. But those boys laughing how Bill from the Freemasons scammed everybody into helping out. Ran a contest. Who could come up with the best scam to steal more money, and scammed everybody into helping out. Now I want to know, since when as United States citizens do we torture somebody to steal money from a victim? Since when as United States citizens do we crush people's head in front of people and act like we're in China and Kim Jong's doing it? Or North Korea, sorry. Since when do we act like a communist country and kill and destroy each other for money? Since when do we act like animals? Hmm? Think of that. And then look at all these people, and then think of the apostolic churches. That apostolic girl a week ago on Saturday, on the 17th in Souls Palace. Thank goodness. We hired a doctor to tape her unaware. Thank goodness we had that doctor have her say that. And because we had that doctor have her say it, we have an agreement with law enforcement that we can do whatever we want to her. We can even tell the police. And they just say we're making fun of her. Psycho. Just like that idiot in my old apartment where the FBI showed up on the 19th, how dumb all these people were trying it with them. That she calls the FBI hotline for help. They immediately walk into an FBI office and confess they were illegally monitoring her on their own, and they already knew she called FBI. And trust me, nobody ever fell for a dirty doctor scam, taping you unaware, confessing your crimes. Sat on it till Dave wanted a divorce, and it sounded mechanical. We knew they altered everything. And nobody fell for the weird with yourself. We knew it was photoshopped or washing yourself in the shower, and they had photoshopped everything. But if they were going to be that dumb and try to pull something like this on us, we told Agent John to go tell that other church before he talked to her and act as dumb as these people. That's why he was telling Apostolic Church of Bremerton. He knew I was being drug beat and raped and didn't care before he talked to me. Women were complaining. I told you I called the FBI hotline. The next morning, they had me so drugged up, I couldn't wake up all the way. Rivers of tears running down my face. I kept saying I can't. And I fall back to sleep. Phone's ringing, let it go back to sleep. And I just fall back. And then I woke up later on. I couldn't even stand up straight. Doubled up, holding on to the wall. Made it to the bathroom. Made it to the refrigerator. Grabbed something to drink. Had to hold on to the wall to get back in bed. Okay? Listen to the voicemail. This is Agent da-da-da, call me back. I can't. And I fell back to sleep. Next day, I'm not much better. Third day, I made myself get up. I sat on the front porch. What is wrong with me again? And I'm holding my head. I feel drunk, and I'm not. I don't drink. What is wrong with me? Okay? Got enough air in my face. I called one of my witnesses I gave the hotline and said, of course I'll witness for you. It's getting darker and scarier the way she talks about it. So I went out and bought a car, put that agent's number in from the voicemail, dropped it off at the mall. Her manager put it in her locker, went up to Apostolic Church of Bremerton. Paul Paymer got in Dave's face. My God, I had an FBI agent in my office. He's right there. I walk off, women come up, he knows she's being drug beat and raped, and he said he didn't care. I'm covered in bruises. I've lost 18 pounds, severely infected, where I thought it was a dirty well water because I never seen her talk to anybody. Those kind of drugs you don't remember. My heart's sinking in my stomach. I go sit down. They follow me. He knows she's being drug beat and raped, and he said he didn't care. And then he does strange as liar, calling me a faker. And if she's supposed to be mean to women, he didn't care what they did to her. Can you imagine an agent saying that? Dave comes in, let's go. Get out in the car. You called the FBI on me, I ought to kill you myself. I said, what did you expect with these people threatening my life and showing up? And he said, I ought to kill you myself. And he goes for a loaded gun. I put my hand on the console, and he starts beating me all the way home. I was jumped out on the highway, and I ran from when I got home. And the next day, I called that agent, Rivers of Tears, and I had already told you what he said, how he confessed he met with all of them, told on me, made fun of me for that guy, Pete. Dave told Danny he hired on his own. It was him and his men. And he actually said he's the one that is supposed to have done the drugging and taping. Well, Pete has her framed. Pete has her tape saying da-da-da-da-da-da-da. It was Pete, the guy he hired on his own. I found out through the investigators is some kind of drug dealer up there. I've never met him. I mean, I got a couple ideas from people being around me who he may be, but I don't know him. And back then, I didn't know him at all. And I still don't know him. I'm just guessing who he is. And I'm probably wrong. How would you like to find out somebody had been drug beating, raping you? Hmm? And when they drugged you up, they played with you like that? Hmm? It used to make me vomit. I used to run for the bathroom and vomit or have diarrhea. And it upset me so bad. And not to have any memory of it. So, but yeah, he had told Danny he'd hire Pete on April 16, 23, after Nikki's memorial service. I go to get my car. Danny's across the parking lot with Gabe and Shay, and Danny has Jen and the boys. And he walks up to Gabe and Shay and says, I finally asked Dad, what on earth is going on? He said he had hired some guy named Pete on his own. It was Pete and his men at her home before. And Pete has a frame. Pete has her tape saying da-da-da, the filthy, dirty statement. It was that guy Pete he hired. And he said some agent showed up at that church. And he talked to him when she walked off. Never said anything to Danny. Okay? Trying to keep him out of all the chaos. I finally said something the other day, how big a scam this is. He said, well, he knows it's a scam. Start laughing. Okay? I said, people scam me. And scam me big time. You learn your rights. You realize they can't do it. Of course, it's a scam. Okay? But it's gave the cartel, including Michelle, that they came up with a doctor scam of keeping me unaware, confessing a crime. It's not my doctor. God in heaven. The law is a doctor can never tape you unaware. It's HIPAA violations. Okay? In Privacy Act, they go to jail for 10 years. It's right on Google. They can never disclose anything you said to them, what they treated you for, or nothing. And if they disclose it, do not fix it within a limited amount of time. It's $1.5 million fine. 10 years in federal. HIPAA and Privacy Act. They're sworn to be quiet about they're to work only for you. So could they be in there with Dave and people saying, hey, ho, we're trying to kill her? No. But if they know someone's being hurt, they have to give a limited report to the police. If they don't, they'll go to jail for an accessory and lose their license forever. Like they said, these people did not realize putting the word doctor on it. That doctor would go to jail regardless. And then the right to privacy over their home. It's not my doctor. They just made it up. Just like they made up they had special permission from the chief of police to be in my home before and to drug me and rape me. Just like they had fake sodium pentothal reports. The whole thing's a scam of every law you can't break. I'm going to upload this.